Hello friends. So I'm ready to start the next part of our walkthrough. We are going to go spring 7 and 8 and hopefully 9. Because the days go so much quicker, I'm going to try to fit 3 days in one walkthrough part. We'll see how it goes. So remember yesterday we handed in that lumber to fix our burned out building. I did forget to start building up some lumber for, let's see, I think we are good on these. We're going to put away our bait so I don't accidentally use it. So right here we're going to take out a whole bunch of wood. We're going to make 20 lumber here, which is 60. That's over half of this just to make board lumber, which is why having so much lumber was so important. All right, so let's take a look here. I'm gonna take a load of lumber and I think my iron with me, because I'm hoping that Doc Jr. will have fences today so we can start fencing off our properties to protect them. Let's make sure we get all of our flowers watered here. Yeah, it looks like a couple of tulips are fairly close, but they really have, I think, 2 more days. And I'm hoping we will find some more marguerites, some more violas, and some more strawberry pansies to fill out the rest of our patch here. Looks like we have one untilled area. We'll go ahead and till that back. And if you look right here, it looks like we do in fact have a new building. We're a little too early for everybody to be going in, so we might as well talk to people as they're walking to work. Let's see if we can catch him before he goes. There we go. Now we don't have to go into the building. What's funny though is we won't be able to go in here because they're resting, but immediately after they're done resting, they're walking. So I've never been in that building. We can talk to Nemo, but we do not yet have his flowers for him, so I don't think it gives us any reputation increases until we can get him what he needs. There's Neil. I want to make sure that we get a hold, that we talk to Neil. Let's check and see if his dad is in here. And also let's take a look at some of the new recipes. We've got our one. Oh, it hasn't progressed yet. So I think before we get our next level of items, we've got our first star, but I think we may have to rebuild all of the buildings before everything will start increasing the things that they offer in the store. Here's the first time that we get to see the inside of the inn. I don't think anybody has ever stayed here that I've seen. Not that I go every day. I don't think either of the kids are out this early, so we will go in here. Oh, it looks like Anna came out as we were going in. And we're focusing on speaking to the people here because we're increasing the town's reputation, at least as much as it will allow us to. We won't be able to get very far. You can see the trees are not fully grown back. We could chop them. They're smaller trees. We wouldn't get as much wood. But I do think we're going to have to go ahead and start searching for seeds. I did look up where the horse was on my further along playthrough, and I was in the right area on the opposite side of the village, so that was my fault. I apologize, but we should be able to get there pretty easily today now that I remember exactly where they're at. Well, I can't say that I remembered it. I had to look it up, but... So we can make some of the iron that we have in our pockets, and we might as well make like 10. We probably won't sell it, but we're going to need some to make fencing. It's used for the gates. And generally speaking, we're going to need them for 2 gates. One for going into the area where the crops are, and one to go out to where the water is. We'll go ahead and collect this. And what we're probably going to do today is go pet the horse, and then I think maybe we should start working on getting down lower in the mine so that we can get some gems, so you can see how that works. We don't need 24, so I'll probably put away all. Let's put away all of them, but like 10. That'll give us plenty to get farther along in running around, and if we have time to do the mine afterwards. I do want to take the time to just show you where that... So we have the strawberry pansy seeds, respawn, and marguerites. Let's take the time to grab the marguerites. The strawberry pansies, we will get some of those seeds as a reward just from doing requests from Nemo. So those ones aren't as critical. And we're going to be time constrained on the viola seeds and the marguerites. Which is why it's important that while we're running around, we make sure to get at least a couple of bags of each every day. I don't mind if I do grab those carrot seeds. We'll talk to Ver now that we can actually talk to Ver every day. Now we don't need the tulips or the daisies, so I'm not going to talk to either of these. And I'm actually going to ignore that mushroom that's over there. You can see we already have respawn of these apples, which is why we put most of them back. We now have a ton of broccoli. I am not going to go down to the right to get more apples, because, and we don't need those daisy seeds, but if the fodder corn guy is here, we are going to grab some of those. Now you can see my stamina is lower just because I'm running more. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and eat all of these mushrooms. And you can see that's basically how we're going to handle running around while we're exploring until we have a barn and until we can tame a horse. Now the important seed bag right here is the viola seeds. So we'll take those seeds. I believe there is one more bag down here. And since they're one of the ones that we're constrained on, that we're going to need 10 of, but there's so few that we can actually reach. At this point, I am going to go down this way because there's the strawberry pansy guy right here, and then we will run over here, get the viola, and then we'll go pet the horse and see if we can make it home in time to make a decent mine run. Generally, I prefer to use the whole day to get the mine run, so we probably won't do it today, but I did miss the horse the last time, and that's because we're on the wrong side of this river right here. And you can see there's a broken fence up there. We cannot cross it without fixing the fence. We do not have enough items to fix the fence. But what we do have is the ability to go around it, because there is all kinds of bridges here in town. And you can see here, we'll talk to Trini here. Just for, this is the other side of that bridge that's broken. So it's not that necessary to fix that bridge. It's nice when you have a mount because it's easier to run around. Here's our first morel mushrooms. Or morel, I'm not sure. And here's what we're here for. These two horses, we're going to pet them both, and then whichever one we can get to like us first, once we have our barn opened, will be our new horse. So you can pet them, but then you can also hold an apple and feed it to the horse, and it gives you 2 bonuses in one day. If you can manage to find an item that they truly love, generally they all have something that they truly love, then it will give additional increases. But now we can go ahead and add the brown horse to our list, and we can see both of these brown horses right here. Here's the town, you can tell because that's where Wesley and Vivi are, or Vivi. So not that this matters much because we are in the wrong area for what we're doing, but if we head east from here, it will take us to Lilycalla Village, that's where the summer town is. West is Providence, and then north Herbsburg Village is the one that does the lumber processing. But we're going to follow this road going west. It'll take us straight back into town. Now, this is also an area that we can do farming at. We just happen to not be able to move our farm yet. Oh, let's see. We can definitely get rid of that weed. And we'll take those wheat seeds. They're much more valuable than a weed. There is a golden sprite on that one, but we cannot cross over. This is Lisa. She's going to also have requests eventually. And Jimmy. Yeah, now it's already dark, so we will start mining tomorrow so that I can show you how we explore the mine as we can get farther deeper down into the mine. Since we've got a little bit of time, I might as well gather these apples over here. I'm not going to pick up any more seeds because we're full, but we can grab these apples to replace the ones we've been eating. Now, you can stay out as long as you want. It will just cause you to have a sleepy icon over it. And now that there is less control over what your structure of your day is like, since we're in the open world part of the game, you can just take your time. I don't know. Oh, viola seeds. That was definitely worthwhile. So that was very nice. Let's go home and get these planted now. We're going to ignore those fish for right now. Though if we were fishing for money today, that would probably be one of the places that I would go to fish. Just because those big fish in there. We also need to choose some items to ship tonight. See, it's so nice to be able to run, but it drains your stamina real fast. We'll go ahead and pet this owl just because I think the owls are super cute. I actually don't have any of the regular pets in my other game. The animals that I have are only ones that provide me with products. I probably should have a pet or two that increases bonuses for things. Oh, and look at that. We did not water our violas. So it's a good thing that we saw that. So let's plant some violas over here. Oh, we have 7. So with those 2, we already have 9 violas. That is pretty amazing. We really did luck out. Now you can see it is almost 11 p.m. and we're still going. I noticed that, oh yeah, let's plant the marguerites, and then I think we have just enough room here to plant both the marguerites if we split them, which I don't prefer, but it's better than not planting them and getting that extra day of growth. And we'll plant the 2 strawberry pansy seeds. And now we are full up and we have our full flower bed. Let's see what we can sell. How about we'll sell 10 apples. And you can see the apples are 330 for 10 apples. And how many apples have we gathered? Just a bunch. So the regular crops will sell for similar to the apples. It's actually not incredibly high value unless you sell them in very large quantities. And let's put everything away until we're, ready. And is that, nope, we still have to put these away too. So we're going to put away the unprocessed iron ore, the processed iron ore, the lumber, both board lumber and square lumber, because we don't need to have that in our pockets, especially if we're going to be mining tomorrow. What we are going to need, though, is a bunch of food. So what we'll do is we'll take all 22 of those mushrooms, only takes up one spot in our inventory, and we can use those to increase our time here as we get lower in the mine, which is our goal for tomorrow. Take care of all of our plants and see if we can unlock the first warp point in the mine. So here we are, day 8. We've already repaired the inn. We've gotten our fishing quest completed. We should start to see the flowers poking up here, but they won't be ready until... Oh, yep. So the tulips have one more day. They look like they're done. They are not quite there. So we will have those first 2 tulips tomorrow, and the rest of them, it looks like, will be ready the next day. We will have most of the daisies opened tomorrow as well, and the remaining daisy, I believe, will be the next day as well. And by then, we should be able to gather some of these additional flowers that we're going to need the 10 of. Since we need the lots of land, we're not going to make it a priority to go find them. Plus, we've got plenty of violas. So, since we're in the area, we'll probably grab the marguerites and the strawberry pansies, and then we will head straight to the mine. And I'm completely happy just to go around picking up more mushrooms to take with us down on our trip. Oh, looks like he's probably walking down here then. Oh, he might already be in there, just not opened the door. I do get in the habit of talking to people even when I don't need to, just to make sure that I have the any bump to just the relationship with that person, but also to the town. Just talking to everybody in the town can make a difference in increasing the star level. And hey, if we can bump it to 2 stars, just making sure that we get everything rebuilt before they even take down the big wall, all the better. I think I'm going to go and talk to Ver really quick, both for the increase and also for the town. And now everybody should be awake, so I can go bother them in their houses. We already talked to Frederica, so we will go talk to the kids. And then we just need Judy, her dad, and we'll stop by the inn and the restaurant, and then we'll head straight to the mine after that. Once you get your cultural level all the way up, you can decide whether or not you want to continue trying to build relationships up with the villagers. Some of them you'll be more inclined to because they'll have requests, which is an easy way to increase relationship points. But some of them you probably will let the relationship slide by the wayside, because if they're not a romanceable character, they generally aren't that big of a concern when it comes relationship-wise, once your village is completely unlocked. I have not played enough to get everybody's relationship all the way up in any of the villages, I don't know if that does anything. Now, I think we already got a bump with Selena. It's like we got a second bump there. Last person, then we'll head to the mine and I'll show you our new ability for mining that will make mining a lot less drudge work. And our goal is not to gather ore in the mine for today. Once we get farther down in the mine, we will be more concerned with gathering ore. But right now, what we're going to focus on is trying to get as deep in the mine as we can. Every 11 levels in the mine becomes a warp point. So, if we can get to level 11, even if we are done with the day after that, like if it gets late and it's time for bed, as long as we hit level 11, even if we don't explore that area ever at all, then it's perfectly fine. We can just call it a day, and when we come back tomorrow, we can actually start on level 11 or choose to start on level 1. Now, this, I'm taking my time going through the options because dowsing is so important in the mine. And I wanted to make sure you were able to view it. So what you do is when you're looking for a way down, the size of the circle matters. So this one here, the circle in the lower right-hand corner is what we're looking at. You want to try to angle to hit the very center. See this very large one? This is going to be stone. It is always stone when they're that big. See, there's your stone. And it had a trap on it too. Whenever you see those exclamation points above your head, you need to get out of the way so that it doesn't hit you, because it can drain your stamina very quickly. So as you can see, we're already eating and we're only on level 2. So mining, oh, we got our first gemstone. Get out of the way of those falling rocks. Mining is so much easier when we are only looking for the way down. So you can see that there's this right here. That is just bronze. We don't really care about it. What we do want to find is the very center of this circle, which is our way down. We are not mining for ore. We are ignoring that one, which is going to be most likely iron. Because right now, oh, we've got our first glass. If we can avoid going through that, just because those way downs are really, really expensive. So it probably means that we're going to have to do it though, because there's no more circles in the same room as the first way down, and it is very unlikely that there is going to be a way down in a hallway. I've seen it. So there's an example where we got hit on the head of the falling rocks. The first time it's not bad because it's pulling up this tutorial, but it still can be pretty bad. But as you see, we have plenty of mushrooms, and it's usually not too bad to just get to the first 11 floors. As long as you stay focused, you don't get distracted. None of the ore nodes, none of the big rocks if you can avoid it. Oh. Yeah, I think that one is under the ore node. It's very rarely under an ore node, but if you see a circle under an ore node, it can be just like that one was, and it's annoying when that happens. So far, this has been an unlucky run because we not only had no way down, yeah, as you can see, it's gonna be in one of these bigger rooms that usually has our way down, so maybe I will just skip any that are in a hallway. We had one where we had to break rocks to get to it. We had one that was under an ore node. Oh, it looks... Oh, there we go. That's lucky. We're on floor 8. Now we're on floor 9. This is the last floor that we need to find the... There we go. And they do typically try to keep the ways down near the front. Here is a good spot to fish if you have some extra stamina and you've got some extra time, which it's not a bad day, so we might as well fish and get ourselves some money. These are medium-sized fish, so they should be okay for money. We sometimes find a golden one in these ponds in the cave, and that's going to be a very hard one to pull in, but very lucrative if you do. The golden carp is, I believe, with no stars on it, is 4,000. With 1 star on it, I believe it's 6,000. So very, very worthwhile if you have the ability to catch it and it's not too late to do that. I'm not going to bother with the rest because it is starting to get late and I want to try to find... Our goal is silver ore. So these are probably good ones to try for a way down, but they are not silver ore. The silver ore is going to be a very small one. These ones are all normal sized, so we're not even going to bother hitting them since we found our way down. The silver ore is also not going to have a node this early on in... Okay, so we found the way down, so we're just going to run through really quickly, checking for any small things of ore. That's a dead end with rocks in it, not worth it. And I think, yep. So we're just going to go ahead and go down. That big one up there is a stone, so we're not even going to bother hitting it because it's just going to drain our energy for no good reason. Before we go down, I just want to run around really quick, make sure that we didn't miss any. And see, we can eat these for 1 full heart each, but I'm going to save them since we have so many mushrooms. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any small nodes. Nope. Before we go down. This is a stone, so we're going to skip it because it's the big size. There's our way down. So let's just check and see if we find any easy to access, very small circles. And it doesn't look like we do, so we will go ahead and go down. Yeah, that's just the one stone. Yeah, we are not getting very lucky on this. Oh. At least not when it comes to finding those small circles to find some higher level ore. The ore itself, the small ores, they can show up in the hallways, which are the only things we're looking for when we're in a hallway. Because if we find it, great. That will make our job much easier. Oh, here is a gem node. Since we're far enough down that we're not trying to get farther, we might as well break it up. Take these gems with us. Once we can cut them, they'll be definitely worthwhile. This is just a regular ore node. These are stone. Regular ore node. Ah, here we go. This is a very small node, and that is our first silver ore. We do need 2 of them. So if we get lucky, we can find a second one. Probably not going to go chasing back there. So if it's not in this area, then we're probably just going to go down. That is going to be copper right there. There's our next way down, so we can ignore all of the other ores unless it's a very small one. And that looks like it's the only one down, so down we go. Now we're on B19, and since we are this far, we might as well take it all the way down. Find our way down to 21. So there's our way down. Let's see if there are any circles worth... We might as well hit this one. This one's a rather small one over there, but the circles are all bigger. So this is just going to be that stone ore right there. This will probably be a regular ore. I'm not going to complain for some jade. This white one is either going to be iron or glass. But here we made it to another fishing area. But it's getting late, so I'm just going to head down to trigger the next room. Oh, and right away, there is a small one right here. So I am going to spend my time getting over there, even though it means I have to break this. So that's a gold ore, which people will ask for, but it's not something that I need. I'm not going to break down another one. We are not going to have the gems in the ore nodes be silver yet. Not typically anyway. But we can go. This one is going to be copper over here. This one's probably iron. Ah, crystal. So crystal is actually very useful for making sprinklers. So that was worthwhile. But this one is just bronze. So we're going to head up. That was very lucrative. We got 2 warp points down. And we got our first gold and our first silver. So let's run home. It's 1 in the morning. but if we're lucky, we should still be able to make it home without getting the sleepy debuff. We still need to sell something. Those tulips look like they... oh yeah, they're not opened up yet. So in the morning, those tulips we should be able to harvest, and then we will plant the marguerite or strawberry seeds based on what we've got room to grow. Oh, we should sell that carp. So what we'll do is, for the item that we're going to sell to increase our reputation, we'll sell the golden starred carp because it's the same as a regular carp, except it's worth more. But you can see we have plenty of more ore and new types of ore. And tomorrow we will go and cut some gems. But we are good with those mushrooms. If we go back into the mines, we might take apples instead. And then yeah, I think we already planted everything we could. So we don't need this iron. We don't need more stone. We'll take the agate. Oops. Put away everything else. We may need some glass cut, but that's not going to be for a while. But we'll keep these 2 gems because when we cut them, they are worth a lot more than when we sell them raw. Unprocessed, I should say. Now we're on day 9, and this will be the last day of our walkthrough. We will see if we can get some of the flowers that we need to collect. We will see if we can get our second silver that we need. Let's go see what we've got grown enough that we can harvest it. And it looks like we've got a couple of tulips and several daisies. So tomorrow we should have the rest of everything we need to be able to open up our flower shop. And that is a pretty good starter for it happening on spring 9. If we had enough of the seeds for all of these to grow to 10 before the 15th, which I don't think we can, but if we did, then we would be able to see our first festival. A blue marguerite is our first hybrid, and there's a regular marguerite right here. Every time you have a hybrid, you also get one of the regular type as well. So I'm just going to make sure to till the rest of the land. We're going to gather some more of the available seeds. Let's see if we have any here. Yep, looks like strawberry, pansy, and marguerite are back. So let's just run down and grab those really quick. This is one of those games you can get distracted by gathering too many of the things that you're not going to need right away. We have a very good buffer of several items that are useful, but you don't need right this moment. So that's what enables us to be able to focus just on the things that we're collecting specifically for progression of the town. Now, there's several reasons why we want to progress as quickly as possible. The main reason is because even though we found Providence, it is not our next town. It is technically an endgame town. But the harvest fountain, where the goddess is supposed to be, is nearby them. It will not have the harvest goddess where we can interact with her until we get our level of our town high enough that Ver can use his power to help awaken the harvest goddess. And so that's ultimately our goal, is to get it so that we can wake up the harvest goddess. The reason why this is so important to unlock as soon as possible is because we want to be able to warp. That will save us on so much travel time. We'd be able to go and pet our horses very quickly, going from one area farming to another in one day so that you can water everything is less of a daunting task. It doesn't take up your entire day to water multiple plots of land so you can have things growing that you need, especially since you're starting with such a small plot in the springtime area. Even if we just use the one that's in the breezy plains, that basically doubles our space. So we can set up a fodder farm there, just plant a bunch of grass, a bunch of fodder corn, or we can now we haven't unlocked jade yet, so we're not going to cut any of the jade, but we did get all of our agates cut. But what I was saying about the other farm is once we can get it all fenced and we can just warp there to water it, it opens up the possibilities to being able to provide more than just is required for the progression of the town. Now I just want to go ahead and... So here's all of our flowers. We can sell this blue marguerite, but I believe it is something requested endgame, so we'll hang on to it. We can sell all 5 of these. If we sell the jade, it's 44 each, but if we wait until we can cut it, which will be very soon, then it's worth a lot more per agate, or per jade. So let's go ahead and tuck away all of our flowers, because we don't want to accidentally sell them. I'm gonna go ahead and plant these 2 strawberry pansy seeds. We're gonna go get our marguerite, but first I want to talk to Ver after I plant these 2 seeds. And we've got plenty of room. See, we can just put the new marguerite seeds right where the old ones were. But let's go speak to Ver really quick. Grab our marguerite seed and then plant it, and then we'll grab... We can eat the... We should probably put our jade away too, but chances are, if we're going to go back in the mine today to try to find our last thing of silver, that we are probably... See, and we can gather whatever seeds we need. We probably don't need this many carrots, but since it was right there, we can grab it. Since we're not doing a focus seed run, the thing you just have to be careful with is when we're grabbing seeds on our way, that we plant just the ones that we need. Because if we accidentally plant a produce when we're trying to focus on our flowers, like if I plant these carrots instead of the marguerites, then we have to wait for those carrots to finish growing, or we have to make a trip all the way down to Providence to buy some herbicide to kill it, which wastes the resources. So let's go ahead and put everything in our pockets away. We can go ahead and sort through things. And then here, let's go ahead and just take these apples with us. We're probably going to have to eat a few because we've been running around. And then we'll head in. Then we'll head over to the mine. And since it's 3:30, since we got so far down in the mine, there's two ways that we can go about this. We can go to B11 and just search, go in there, search for the ore, and then leave and come back and search for the ore again. But I'm going to go to 21. Yeah, that's too big of an ore. Since we're not trying to get much deeper, which if it was a situation where we were getting real close to needing the... Oh, there we go. So since we've got our way down, we'll just run really quick, see if there's any small ones. I haven't seen any small ones. Oops, wrong button. That is probably just glass right there. Yep. Which will be useful, but not right now. In the next town, you might need some. We don't need it right now. It's good to know that it's plentiful here on this level, though, so when we need it. And we've already found our way down, so we might as well just quickly run through, see if we can find any small ore nodes. I hate it when it takes me to one past the one I'm intending to hit, but that seems to be fairly common here. There's a garnet. They are far more expensive to get repair or get processed than an agate, but they're also worth a great deal more. I didn't think there was another way down. Okay. Yeah, so we do have plenty of energy, so we can go ahead and break the stone to get down there. When you're breaking stone, if you're not used to looking for the exclamation point when rocks fall, that's a very typical time that you're going to have the rocks fall. So it's worthwhile to pay attention. Oh, there's a small one, and I think that is the right size. Now we have our 2 silver ore that we need in order to get our barn open. So now we're just waiting for our since we are wrong direction. Oh, it's going to be underneath that. That's not worth it. It's not going to be the way down because it's in the middle of a hallway and it's under a rock, so With its size being a common one, it's probably not going to be worth breaking that. There's our way down. That's just some glass. Now, because we're looking for gemstones, we can get silver if we see the small ones. It's worthwhile. We don't have to continue since we got what we needed. But just to show, we did 2 days, got silver ore that we need for our upgrades in 2 days, simply by dowsing, by pushing the B button, finding the center of the circle, and going down. And you can see we can get plenty of ores necessary for upgrades just from this very first mine. It's not worth fighting those rocks, so we'll go ahead and call it a night. And here we are, spring, day 9. We've got 2 silver ore. We've got most of the flowers that we need. Tomorrow, in our next walkthrough, we will probably focus on getting some more seeds for the ones that we need 10 of, so that we can get those started growing. Looks to be that for this playthrough, marguerites are going to be our constricting one. I still do not think we're going to have enough. I think garnets we can get processed, so we will try that. And now we've got our 2 silver ore right here waiting for us to be able to process them and turn them in for our new barn. So thank you for listening, for following. If you'd like to be alerted for the next time I put out another part to the walkthrough, please subscribe. Just to help get more eyes on the channel, I'd appreciate it if you share and comment on this video or any of them that you watch. If you like the video, it can also help increase when people start searching for tutorials for this game. It will bring, if I have enough of a following, it will bring up my feed a lot more often. So if you could do me those favors, I would very much appreciate it. Have a great day.